ma'am to introduce you to the audience. So
Yeah, fine.
Ma'am, someone is over to you.
Thank you, Manjunath sir. So dear participants, we have our next speaker for this second session of AICTE sponsored 1 week STTP program. So we have our session speaker, Dr. M.S. Shashi Kumar. He is Scientist E, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. Sir has over 20 years of experience in the promotion of scientific and industrial research and development, biotechnology, research and development. He is a technically proficient scientist with more than 20 years of expertise working both in industry-related schemes in DSIR and DBT. He has served as a researcher with laboratory experience in the field of botany and ecological sciences. His broad experiences include study of vegetation patterns of Western Ghats of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Sir has a strong expertise in independently analyzing the various components in the technology development and completing the projects with successful execution from the concepts. He possesses strong interpersonal skills and experiences working with multidisciplinary and multidivisional research and scientific teams, professional and industries. He has authored and co-authored in various scientific and departmental publications and is actively contributed as a member of the editorial committee. Currently, Sir holds the post as Scientist E in Department of Science and Industry, Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. Prior to this, he was a Scientist D in Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, New Delhi. He is a key member of the flagship programs of DSIR in-house R&D recognition scheme, handling cases of various companies for availing the 200% weightage tag deduction on the expenditure made on R&D in each financial year, which is based on IT Act of 1961. He's also handled TDU PW program towards rural women empowerment. He has handled and worked in the 12th plan scheme of PACE, which has three main components, which includes technology acquisition, technology development and demonstration, and setting of expert database of IPs. He is also a key member of the flagship programs of DBT, which includes Small Business Innovation Research Initiative schemes. He is also a key member of program Biotech Parks and Incubators, which is into empowering them by funding the modern biotech infrastructure. Sir, on behalf of the management, principal, HOD, staff and students of the Oxford College of Engineering, Department of Biotechnology, we take it as a privilege for you having you here as our speaker for this session, sir. So welcome to the department and to this session. Sir, it is over to you to start with the session.
Sir, can you please put it on this slide?
So your slides are not in the presentation mode.
I will just start. Okay.
Right, sir.
Now can you see it? Hello?
Sir, it is not on presentation mode. It is in the ordinary PPT mode.
Can you see when I move the slides?
No, sir.
One second.
Sir, instead of sharing the PPT, can you please share the screen? When you open the share tray, you will get the share screen and share windows. Please share the screen, sir, so that you can put it on the slideshow.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you see now?
Yes, sir. Now you minimize this Teams and open the PPT, sir.
Okay, screen minimize करके.
Now
Now?
click on slideshow, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Very good morning to all of you. Actually, you had a very good 1 week, I believe, where it was started by the inauguration and a very good lecture by Dr. S.R. Rao, who was former scientist H in Department of Biotechnology, and he is presently in Bharati Maha Vidyapeeth in Puducherry. So this is quite apt to start this type of online program as well as the workshop. And we had a very good speaker before me, Dr. Sahu. He is also a very good speaker and also has spoken on the right theme about NRDC, which is an autonomous body under DSIR. And they are doing a lot of good things about startups and also bioinnovations and all. Now, in my theme, I will be touching upon the startups. What is a startup and what are the bioinnovations case studies? How is government presently helping the various startups to take ahead the various leads or the technologies ahead in the present scenario? And I also thank all the officials of the Oxford College of Engineering, Dr. Manjunath especially, who have been kind enough to give me an opportunity to present on this occasion. And I feel whatever little knowledge which I will be sharing will be useful to the students and also the faculty, and will be helping them to taking ahead various technologies available in the academic institutions and to go up and tie up with various startups, or they only can start a new venture with a particular technology available with them. So without wasting much time, I will directly jump into my presentation. What is a startup? What is the definition of a startup? As per the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, an entity incorporated or registered in India not prior to 5 years with annual turnover not exceeding rupees 25 crores in any preceding financial year, working towards innovation, development, deployment or commercialization of new processes, products or services driven by technology or intellectual property. This is the definition given by DIPP for a startup. The notification issued by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Trade on 19th February 2019 provided the definition of a startup. Accordingly, startup is an entity that is into existence for up to 10 years from the date of its incorporation or registration. Provided such an entity is incorporated in India, it may be a private limited company as per the Companies Act 2013, partnership firm as per Section 59 of the Partnership Act 1932, or LLP, limited liability partnership as per the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. And also a turnover that is not more than 100 crores during any financial year since its incorporation or registration. We are working towards, a startup is always working towards innovation, development or improvement of products or services or processes, or the entity has a scalable business model having a high potential or employment generation or wealth creation. So it is very important to all of us to know what is a startup, how it is defined, who is called as a startup. And this I have explained in this slide. I think everyone has got a real in-depth on this. So I will move to the next slide. The benefits to startups. The companies recognized as startup by DIPP or Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade have following benefits. They have a self-certification under labor and environmental laws. This is allowed for a period of 5 years from the date of incorporation of the entity. They are allowed to have self-certify compliance under 6 labor laws and 3 environment laws. They have a tax exemption for 3 years. The profits earned by the recognized startups having granted interministerial board certificate or exempted from income tax for 3 consecutive years. Tax exemption on investment above fair market value. In case of startup has interministerial board certificate and receives consideration from the issue of shares exceeding the face value of such shares, the consideration up to rupees 10 crores received from such shares exceeding the fair market value of such shares is exempted from tax. And also, startups are known as fast track firms, can be wound up within 90 days as against 180 days for other companies. They have a easy winding up option. Then, for example, if you come for IPR protection or a patent application, startup provides high quality intellectual property services and resources to help them to protect and commercialize their IPRs. They have made a fast tracking of startup patent application, providing 80% rebate in filing of patents as compared to other companies who are providing only 50% rebate in filing the trademarks. As compared to other companies, panel of facilitators to help in filing IP applications and government support to bear the facilitation costs. This is exclusively given for a startup because the level of risk is more in startup, and also startup doesn't have so much of revenue to get it patented, or they have to have a certain level of protection of their technologies or the innovation. So startups should protect and commercialize their IPs. For this, the government is helping in a very big way. Then relaxation in public procurement norms. In order to meet quality and technical specification of all Government of India department, ministries and PSUs have been given authority to ease the norms with regards to public procurements. Startup can avail exemptions on earnest money deposit, prior turnover and experience requirements in case of government tenders. Further, startups can now get listed as sellers on Indian government largest e-procurement portal, that is GeM, government marketplace. And they are also, the Government of India has set aside a corpus fund of 10,000 crore. This fund is managed by SIDBI and is intended to provide equity funding support for the development and growth of innovation-driven enterprises. The nature of such a corpus fund is fund of funds. What are the resources? Startup India Learning Program is a free online entrepreneurship program by Startup India. The aim is to help entrepreneurs get their ideas and ventures to the next level through structured learning. The program covers lessons on key areas of starting up 40 plus top founders of India in an extensive 4-week program. The interested candidates can enroll, and the link have been shared here. That is www.startupindia.gov.in. Where are the R&D funding opportunities for the startups? The Government of India, through its various scientific departments, provide grants, loans for undertaking research to develop new products process to individuals, institutions, industry, NGOs, etc. The funding also is extended for collaborative research, where a startup can collaborate with the academic institute and go ahead in undertaking various novel projects where the technologies are very innovative and novel and which has a very high value potential for patenting. Actually, the startups, when they are in the preliminary stages, they would have cracked the idea with the help of academic institute. So nowadays, you may see there are a lot of government funding coming up, tying up the startups with the academic institutes, because these academic institutes will be a backbone to these startups who are mainly young entrepreneurs. They would have finished their BTech, MTech or PhD. very recently, and they are coming up with their ideas which they have taken from the academic institute when they will be doing their degree courses or the post-graduation courses or the doctoral degrees. So we have listed the departments who are there for funding: DST, DBT, Ministry of Earth Science, DSIR, CSIR, Technology Development Board, the Science and Engineering Research Board, the DIPP, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of HRD, Space, ICMR, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of New Renewable Energy, Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change. All of them are already pumping in money in their own areas for the startups. There are definition and types of funding. The important factor any startup should consider is careful planning and futuristic approach. This is very important. These words should be noted: careful planning and futuristic approach. Before I go, I'll just explain. Once when I was in DBT, we funded one project to MAPS India Limited of Ahmedabad. That was a project on phytase enzyme to be used as a poultry feed. This was a novel project which we started funding from DBT under SBIRI program. But suddenly what happened, a Chinese competitor started selling in Indian market the product which the MAPS India Limited was to bring at more than 70% less of what they had planned. So you have to be very careful about the futuristic approach. We need to scout the market, where we are going, whether our technology over a period of another 5 to 10 years, where it is going to lead. Who are the players who can be helpful as well as harmful? These are the things once the startup should carefully plan and have a futuristic approach. The funding is an extremely significant aspect to meet the vision of the business. There are two aspects. One is the funding, the other one is the fundraising. These both are fundamental modern businesses scenarios that support the growth of a startup. The first round of funding is popularly called as seed funding forms the basis of fundraising. If you have a seed funding, then other venture capitalists or other fundraising, even I'll give you an example. If you have one government funded project as a startup, other departments will easily come and they will have projects will be given one by one to, which I have seen during my experience while I was working in Department of Biotechnology. Let us talk about various types of funding. We have crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is the concept of crowdfunding is quite similar to mutual funds on a basic level. In this option, more than one investor is involved and they offer a fixed amount of money based on your business, your idea, goal, plan of action, and plans of making a profit. Crowdfunding also helps you in getting crucial fund from idea stage itself. If you have an idea, the crowdfunding people will come to you, they hear from you. If it is a novel, immediately they jump there. You can gather crowdfunding from friends, family, entrepreneurs who believe in your business concept. Again, I'm telling, business concept, careful planning, futuristic approach. All these are very important when you are going ahead as a startup. Self-funding, popularly known as bootstrapping, it is an ideal plan of action when it is hard to convince others of your business idea and vision. The initial round of self-funding allows you to prove the feasibility of your idea and build confidence in the investor for a further round of funding. Even many startups, they come or approach many government funding agency like DBT, DST, ICMR, DSIR, CSIR. Many a times they may not be successful at the initial stage. So at that time, they don't lose heart. They go back, invest a small seed fund, either by a venture or their own money. Make the idea little more strong. What the idea they have, that they will inculcate, they will make it workable. When the idea or what plan they have is workable in the lab, immediately they approach the government funding agency, where the funding agency will, if it is a novel one, will definitely agree for it. That's what. Then you have venture capitalist, as I was just discussing. It's a sure short destination for big bets. Venture capitalists offer you professionally managed funds who are looking only for startups that have success potential. See, venture capitalist cannot be compared to a government funding agency. I will tell you, venture capitalist will always be looking for a startups with success potential. If your technology is not novel or somewhere, they will not be interested to invest in you. The best part about venture capital investments is the expertise and monitoring. They have the expertise, they monitor, which they carry along with them. Ordinarily, venture capitalists invest in equity, and once the business releases its IPO or is acquired, they leave off. They are only interested in a small period of time where they will handhold, earn their part of money and leave when you are on your own. Then the last is the angel investment. There are individuals with surplus cash. There are many people, like many politicians who have excess money, or many people who are having a very surplus cash, looking for investing in promising startups. They want to invest in a promising startup and earn their share once it grows to its potential. I know few CROs, one in Tirupati, one in Hyderabad, one in Chennai and Bangalore, like that. There were 3 to 4 couple of CROs where certain angel investors invested in them. They may invest 10 crores, 5 crores, because they would be investing on the potential of an individual who is working in that startup, and they have confidence in that person. They can either work alone or collectively in a network to screen startups with huge potential. Matlab, if they have and feel that this individual will take this startup to higher levels, this technology is like that, so they will collectively fund. A group of friends who are having a surplus cash, they may invest. The politicians, as I told, they have surplus money, they can invest in a right way. You might have seen there are many politicians who run all these small startups or some companies also. There are a lot of examples like this. This funding option has business minds looking into earn interest out of your success. When you succeed, they earn interest out of it, and they may expect high equity also sometimes, or just let it go like any venture capitalist once you are on your own. And there are a lot of various opportunities to startups for seeking grants or loans from government. There are a lot of opportunities. Technology Development Board, it gives loans at 5% interest and equity for commercialization of any technology. Then you have DSIR, which runs a program called PACE, taking the lab level technology to pilot level, where we give at a 5% simple interest. So these are the options. You have seen a lot of options. You will see further in my presentation also. You have when I come to the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, we have the program called Promoting Innovation in Individual Startups and MSMEs, called PRISM scheme of DSIR. The objective of the scheme is to transform an individual innovator into successful technopreneur by promoting, supporting, hand-holding and funding implementable and commercially viable innovations created for the overall development of the society. The support for converting ideas into prototypes and then up to commercialization of the product process technologies developed by these innovators. Under the initiative, an Indian innovator, student, professional and common citizen is provided financial assistance by DSIR for idea development, prototype development, pilot scaling and patenting. This program is implemented across all sectors. No qualification, publication, etc. are required for seeking funds under the scheme. The only eligible criteria is that innovator should be an Indian citizen. The quantum of grants in 2 phases. Phase 1, they give rupees 20 lakhs. Phase 2, they give around 50 lakhs. This is the PRISM scheme. Then you have the SIDBI fund of fund scheme. The government of India formed a fund of 10,000 crore to increase capital availability as well as to catalyze private investments. The fund was set up as a fund of funds for startups, approved by the cabinet and established by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, in June 2016. The fund of funds for startups does not invest in startups directly, but provides capital to SEBI-registered alternate investment funds known as daughter funds, who in turn invest money in high potential Indian startups. SIDBI has been given the mandate of managing this through the selection of daughter funds and overseeing the dispersal of committed capital. The fund of funds makes downstream investments in venture capital and alternative investment funds that in turn invest in startups. The fund has been formed in a way that creates a catalyzing effect. Funding is provided to startups across different life cycles. Then you have Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. Again, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has created Startup India Seed Fund Scheme with an outlay of 945 crores, which aims to provide financial assistance to startups for proof of concept, prototype development, product trials, market entry, and commercialization. This would enable the startups to graduate to a level where they will be able to raise investments from angel investors and VCs, or seek loans from commercial banks or financial institutions. The scheme will support estimated 3,600 entrepreneurs through 300 incubators in the next 4 years. The seed fund will be disbursed to eligible startups through eligible incubators across India. You can visit their website www.startupindia.gov.in, where you can get full details about this program and how they will enable to startups to graduate from level 1 to level 2. Then government has set up the National Startup Awards. The National Startup Awards has been conceptualized to further strengthen the startup ecosystem in the country. The National Startup Awards seek to recognize and reward outstanding startups and ecosystem enablers that are building innovative products or solutions and scalable enterprises with high potential of employment generation or wealth creation, demonstrating measurable social impact. The measure of success will not only be the financial gains for the investors, but also the contribution to the social cause. This resulted into a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship take firm roots across the length and breadth of the country. Again, you have the website given under where you can get the details of these awards. Then we come to the important factor, that is the technology business incubators. This is supported by Department of Science and Technology to provide infrastructural support, technical, financial, legal, IP support to startups. Innovators and entrepreneurs may seek fund from this technology business incubator. I have given a list. For example, what are the thrust area and where it is there. You can hear the IIIT Delhi, IIIT Innovation and Incubation Center, where you have artificial intelligence, technology in healthcare and robotics. Then you have ISAP in Indigram Labs Foundation, Agri and Food Tech, Clean Tech, Rural Healthcare. Then you have Indira Gandhi Technical University for Women, who is supporting the women entrepreneurs. Then you have ION Mentoring and Incubation Services, which is a sector agnostic. Then you have IRI, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, PUSA. We have PUSA Takshay and PUSA Krishi. It is entirely focused on agriculture businesses. Then you have Shriram Institute of Industrial Research, which has a TBI, which is focusing on specialty chemicals, waste management, rubber and plastics. Then University of Delhi South Campus, they have their own technology business incubator. Then you have Center for Incubation and Business Acceleration. In Goa, there is a college called Pedre Concio College of Engineering, where it is on product development, design, food processing, and ITES. Then you have, again, same travel and tourism. Then you have Gujarat Foundation for Entrepreneur excellence, iCreate, where you have a lot of things, IT, electronics, biotechnology, nanotechnology, robotics, green energy, biomedical equipment and devices, agro and food processing. These are certain set examples of TBIs where they give full support technically, financially, legal, IP and startups, where you should have certain angel funds to start and being selected in the TBIs. There are a lot of other examples. You can see Indian Institute of Public Health, Gandhinagar, then Gujarat University Startup Entrepreneurship Council. They're all sector specific, and you have CSIR, IIIM, where you have discovery and development of phytopharmaceutical drugs, then formulation and packing of botanical herbs, medicine, fermentation technology, QC/QA. A lot of things. Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering in Bangalore, they are also running a business incubation center, Dayanand Sagar Entrepreneurship Research and Business Incubation, which is focusing on IoT and healthcare. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then certain more example, you have a lot of other technology business incubator. It is all available actually. You are seeing this, it is all available. I think Oxford also can go ahead and start a business incubator inside their own campus, because I feel they are well enough to start a business incubator of their own and support the youngsters to become entrepreneurs, taking the technologies which they have studied along with their academic, and the Oxford College will be there supporting them in the business incubator in forming a proper startup and coming up with the technologies which is already being derived from their own labs while doing their MTech, BTech or PhD, and so forth and so forth. You have Amrita Vishwa Mahavidyapeeth, Amrita Technology Business Incubator, which is in Cochin, I believe. They are in next generation e-learning information technology. College of Engineering, Trivandrum, sustainable technology, renewable, electric mobility. You can see a lot of things are going on. You can have this JSS Academy of Technical Education also, JSS AT in Bangalore. You have Manipal Academy of Higher Education, concentrating on healthcare, information technology, energy. You have Narayana Hrudyalaya and Kiran Mazumdar Shah Foundation together coming with healthcare, social entrepreneurship, nanotechnology, Indian holistic medicine. They are all very near to your place, I believe. National Institute of Design, Bangalore, in automobile, medical aid, lifestyle products. A lot of things are going on. A lot of institutions are buzzing up and coming up with the new startups and new technologies. There's still list going on. I think I can skip this. You have Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Birla Institute of Technology, then Thapar Institute of Engineering, and they are all into various IT, IoT, deep tech, robotics, blockchain, artificial intelligence, data science, solving problems in any of the following themes like healthcare, education, agriculture, hyper local businesses, remote working. Well, very good. Even you have Coimbatore Innovation and Business Incubator, Sastra deemed university. They also have a technology business incubator. So I'm skipping 2 to 3 slides because these are all full lists of technology business incubators all over the country, where they have, through the foundation, they run this incubators in various fields and various sectors, crisscrossing the sectors, trans-sectoric they are. Then I come to the important one, Atal Innovation Mission, which is run by Niti Aayog. Atal Innovation Mission, it is named after our former Bharat Ratna Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It is the Atal Innovation Mission, which is a Government of India flagship initiative to create and promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship across the length and breadth of our country. It aims, objective is to develop new programs and policies for fostering innovation in different sectors of the economy provide platforms and collaboration opportunities for different stakeholders, and create an umbrella structure to oversee the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem of the country. The aims, the Atal Innovations Initiatives, have played an important contributory role in the advancement of India from a position of 81 in the Global Innovation Index in 2015 to position of 48 in 2020. They have moved ahead and has adopted a holistic approach encompassing schools, universities, research institutions, industry, MSME, NGOs, ministries at district, state and national levels. It's a very unique, innovative program which is being operated by Niti Aayog. Major initiatives taken by Atal Innovation Mission is Atal Tinkering Labs, creating problem-solving mindset across schools in India, Atal Incubation Centers, fostering world-class startups in universities, institutions, private sector, adding new dimension of outcomes-based scale-up and monitoring to existing incubator model. Atal New India Challenges, fostering product and service innovations in the country with national socio-economic impact and aligning them to the needs of the various sectors, ministries and industry. Atal Community Innovation Center, to stimulate community-centric innovation and ideas in the unserved, undeserved regions of the country, including Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and rural India. Arise, to stimulate innovation and research in the MSME industries. It acts as mentors of Change Mentor India Network, one of the largest voluntary national mentor networks with specialists, individuals from industry and academia to support all the initiatives of the mission. It builds a strategic innovation partnership with public sector, private sector, multinationals, and global country-to-country partnership, which includes USA, UK, Germany, Russia, Singapore, Sweden, Israel, Denmark, Australia. These are the few countries to name. Then brief activities carried out under Atal Innovation Mission. The Atal Tinkering Labs that I told, it works at the school level. The Atal Incubators at university, institutions and industry level. Atal Community Innovation Center serving unserved and underserved regions or communities of India. Atal New India Challenges, stimulating product and service innovation with a national impact. Applied research and innovation for self-enterprises to stimulate MSME industry innovation. Mentorship and partnership, collaborating with public, private sector, NGOs, academia, institute. Depending upon the requirement of the innovators, they seek funds for startups from these Niti Aayog supported incubators. Then I come to BIRAC now, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, BIRAC. It's a public sector enterprise set by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. They have a scheme called BioNest, Bio Incubators Nurturing Entrepreneurship for Scaling Technologies. BioNest was launched by BIRAC with a vision that focused on fostering the biotech innovation ecosystem in the country. Unlike startups in the IT sector, enterprising ideas in the biotech sector need incubation support. In IT, you don't need much, but in biotech sector, you need much incubation support of a different kind, where they need a landing space to test their ideas, run their operation, have access to high-end instrumentations, and locate in a place where they connect with the other startups and mentors. BioNest program provides support to establish bioincubators either as a standalone entity or as a part of the academia. Through BioNest, BIRAC has supported 60 bioincubators till now, creating a cumulative area of 7,83,443 square feet for budding entrepreneurs. The scheme is, it provides incubation space to startups and entrepreneurs, connects industry and academia, and enable interactions for efficient exchange of knowledge, as well as facilitate technical and business mentorship. Provides enabling services and required mentorship for IP and technology management, legal and contract, resource mobilization, and networking platform. establishes an efficient governance model. It is a successful model. You have big biotech ignition grants. It is BIRAC is supporting from idea, that is ideation, to early stage. BIG is such a flagship program of BIRAC which provides the right admixture of fuel and support to young startups and entrepreneurial individuals. BIG is the largest early stage biotech funding program in India. Funding grant of up to 5 million to best in class innovative ideas to build and refine idea to proof of concept. You have an idea in the biotech sector or a biotech field, that idea to proof of concept, the BIG program supports. It fosters generation of ideas which is having a high commercialization potential. It upscales and validates the proof of concept, encourages researchers, budding entrepreneurs to take technology closer to market through a startup, stimulate entrepreneurship formation. As part of this program or a scheme, successful big innovator receive a grant of 50 lakhs for research projects with commercialization potential with duration of 18 months. That is 1.5 years. Normally, they give a project for innovators and also entrepreneurs. Then you have the SITARE, Students Innovation for Translation and Advancement Research Exploration. It is aimed at supporting innovative student projects in the area of biotechnology. The scheme's mandate is to promote and encourage young students for embracing translational research, defined under Section 4, to develop innovative products and technologies addressing unmet needs. They also give Gandhian Young Technology Innovation Award, which is called SITARE GYTY Award grant, is not a usual research fellowship. The scheme also provides an opportunity for orientation, training, and mentoring through residential workshops. Where you have appreciation grant also, and Gandhian Young Technology Innovation Award or a grant. They also have a program called eYuva, which is empowering youth for undertaking value-added innovative translational research. The eYuva scheme aims to promote a culture of applied research and need-oriented, it may be societal or industrial, entrepreneurial innovation among young students and researchers. The scheme is implemented through eYuva centers to inculcate entrepreneurial culture through fellowship, pre-incubation, and mentoring support. They are housed within a university or institute setup and mentored by a BIRAC BioNest supported bioincubator. The scheme provides support for students under following two categories: BIRAC's Innovation Fellow, BIRAC's eYuva Fellows, one for postgraduates and above and other for undergraduates and students. Various examples or various applicants who are successful in getting the big grants are listed, and the technologies is also listed. You have Achera Labs, then you have Codon Bioscience Private Limited, GenX Genomics, Asparatica Biotech Private Limited, then you have Rajesh Laboratories. There are a lot of technologies. You can see the technologies. They're all novel, innovative. Way there, they have grabbed the big grant for an idea. The big grant supports like PRISM for an idea. The idea should be translated into proof of concept. Once the proof of concept, you have the SBIRI program standing ready for you to fund it. So at every level, from the idea stage to the commercial level, you have various funding programs by the government catering you and handholding you. But as an entrepreneur or as an innovator, what you need to have is how to develop the innovation culture in you, do R&D related to a novel technology, And as a BTech, MTech, or a PhD graduate or a doctorate holder, you need to have the acumen to take the technology further ahead in the process of having a startup, either in a incubator or a place of your own under any academic institute, as I have shown the list, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur or an innovator. These are certain success stories of various technologies and the applicants' name who have been successful in getting the big grants from the BIRAC. Again, you can see there are a lot of Total Potential Cells, Robust Herbals Private Limited. Then you have Biomonitia Research Private Limited. They're all, and you see, for example, Shanmukha Innovations, they are doing handheld imaging flow cytometer for quantitative diagnosis of malaria. These are, and you have upscaling of banana propagation using bioreactors by SM Plant Production and Technologies. Then you have a lot of novel percutaneous soft tissue biopsy system with assisted hemostasis. Indio Labs. See, all these, they are covering all the sections, all the sectors of biotechnology. It may be agriculture biotechnology, food biotechnology and nutrition. Then you have healthcare, biomedical devices and instruments. Then you have industrial biotechnology, fermentation processes. You name, the DBT or the BIRAC is there to fund for any type of technology from the stage of idea till commercialization. You can see Shilpa Sciences Private Limited. A lot of startups, even there are innovators. Prasant Rathinam, he is an innovator. He has been funded with development of anti-coram sensing coated catheters to reduce device-associated urinary tract infection. These are well set examples where then you have Srujan Kumar Marepal. He is also an innovator. Bile acid lipoids as potential therapeutics for treating psoriasis. So I can skip certain of this. These are all available. Under the big scheme, they have supported about 515 innovations till now. The big grants from the inception till now, they have been able to support 515 novel innovations. You have a lot of entrepreneurs also being supported, along with, you might have heard about Professor Utpal Tattu. He was in IISA, I believe. He has been given for animal disease diagnosis and treatment, which is a novel technology. I believe he has taken that grant and he may transfer the technology or he may start his own startup. These are some futuristic things. So I will be ending up my lecture. I will not go into detail. I am sure that I have not bored the audience as well as the young budding entrepreneurs with my presentation. So now I have to stop this presentation. How to go?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Now, participants, the forum is open for discussion.
1 second. Yeah. Now the screen is off, no? Or it is still presentation?
No, you can stop sharing, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suman?
Yes.
1 second. Share.